Okay, now I think I can say it's officially NBA Finals or bust for the Knicks after they just took down the defending champs, Boston Celtics. They're back in the Eastern Conference Final for the first time since the 1999 to 2000 season. Our New York Post sports columnist Mike Vaccaro is on to talk all things Knicks heading into the new series against the Indiana Pacers. Mike, thanks for hopping on with this. The last time the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals, Jaylen Brunson's dad, Rick, was on that team. I guess did the Knicks show you and the rest of the NBA that they are real contenders after putting away the Celtics last night?
Yeah, they really stepped up in a moment when they needed it most. I mean, we've heard all year about how this team lacks chemistry, it lacks an identity, and I think we saw them achieve both last night. Even when the Celtics kind of fought back to even the score at 16 early in the first quarter, there really wasn't a let up in the energy in the building and certainly among the execution of the Knicks. And then we saw across the next 3.5 quarters just one of the most severe bloodlettings you'll ever see in a basketball game. And I think that was a long time coming for a lot of Knicks fans, and I think that the Knicks themselves were pretty satisfied after hearing for months and months that they couldn't beat any of the elite teams. Well, there were three elite teams in the NBA, and two of them are out, and one of them is facing a Game 7 tomorrow. So it's going to be really fascinating to see what the Knicks can do from here. If the Thunder lose on Sunday to the Nuggets, then the Knicks would have home court as long as their season survives. And who would have ever thought that was possible even 3-4 weeks ago?
It's a lot of hype and energy in the city right now. The city was on fire last night. The madness outside of the Garden, but a good madness. Good madness. Knicks fans have been waiting for this moment since that 99-2000 season. There was no social media back then, so nothing could really go viral from those, from the celebrations. But is there anything about this year's team that reminds you of, or is at least comparable to that 1999-2000 squad?
No, I think there's a lot of comparisons to that team, mostly their resilience. Look, I mean, they were, one shot away from losing in the first round that year, and they wound up building on that, and they swept the Hawks in the next series, and they beat the Pacers, who were the number one seed, the number two seed, I should say, in the finals in 6 games. They always seemed to take care of business when they had to. They endured some things. I mean, obviously, Patrick Ewing missed the finals. Larry Johnson got hurt later on in that playoff stretch, but these Knicks have really kind of faced everything that they've had, including the Jaylen Brunson injury, including a couple of stretches of the season where it looked like things might go sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly in these playoffs, the Pistons had them in a pretty bad spot in the first round. They survived that. The Celtics came back at them in Game 3 and Game 5. They survived that. They seem to be playing their best basketball of the year right now. So it's going to be a lot of fun starting Wednesday. I'll tell you that, Brandon.
You mentioned that there were stretches where things could have gone wrong. Like, this fan base has been on edge and on the roller coaster of emotions with this team throughout the entire season and playoffs. So from a media and basketball standpoint, what does the Knicks being in the Eastern Conference Finals mean for, one, the fan base and the league overall?
Well, the league loves it because New York in the playoffs is a big moneymaker for them. There's no question about that. For the fans, look, I mean, of all the fan bases in New York, I mean, you could argue the Knicks are the most devoted and diehard because they've gone through so many bad years, decades of bad seasons, and they still kept filling the Garden. They still kept showing up. They still kept showing out. And I think that's why you see the depth of feeling now for this team, because they're giving these fans something they've just been thirsty for a quarter century. And it's really fun to see both the way the team is playing and the way the fans are reacting.
All right, let's look ahead to this Knicks Pacers series. We've got Jaylen Brunson versus Tyrese Halliburton on the court now, not in the wrestling ring. The Pacers came back from down 0-2 last year to win that series. The Knicks beat them 2-1 in the regular season. But as we've seen, throw all the regular season records and matchups out. What's your early thoughts going into this series? What's some storylines that we should be keeping our eye on leading up to Wednesday's tip-off?
Oh, it's a wonderful match. Look, Halliburton and Brunson both think they're the best point guards in the sport. They both can make an argument for that. I personally would give Jaylen a little bit of a thumbs up on that matchup, but you can make the arguments. Great debate. This is the kind of team that I think Karl Anthony Towns will do well against. He did great against them in the regular season, dropped a 40-point game on them during the regular season. I think he's more inclined to be able to have some success with the way he plays against the Pacers bigs than he was against the Celtics or even the Pistons. So there's that to look out for. And look, it's going to be a great coaching matchup because you got two of the best in the business in Tibbs for the Knicks and Carlisle for the Pacers. Carlisle was masterful last year in keeping his team in the series and then, giving them the belief that they could seize the series once it was in their grasp. And so that's going to be a lot of fun also. And look, I mean, the two arenas are going to be great too because what you saw last night what the Garden is about when it gets a big game, and the Field House in Indiana we saw last year that can get loud and intimidating, and neither of these teams is scared. I mean, they're both fearless teams, so it's going to be a wonderful matchup. I expect each team to win a game in the other's building. I fully expect this team to go 7 games because they're that evenly matched. But look, if you got to play a game 7 anyway, you might as well play it at home. And I think that's why the Knicks have to feel pretty good about this.
The city feels good, and the city vibes are always at the highest when the Knicks are playing some good basketball. So I'm hoping they can keep this run going for as long as they can and maybe even bring home a chip. Mike, thanks for hopping on with us. Appreciate you, sir.
You got it, Brandon. Anytime.